Um, I see what that was. The internet's a bit slow. Hey guys, greetings from Hong Kong. It is 3 a.m. for me. You see how committed I am to getting up in the middle of the night and talking to you, truth monkeys? Mind you, you've been very loyal, so I couldn't say no, really, could I? Um, I hope you're all very well. If you got questions and answers or questions, you can put them in there. But I've had a very, very interesting few days. This has been one of the strangest missions I've ever been on. I have to say, hands down. What's in here? Um, because I came here on a bit of a whim. It was a sort of last minute thing, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Um, I'm going to see if I can get the picture a bit better while we're waiting. What's that one? Yes, we can take some of the color out of it. Yeah, no, we'll leave it. Um, yeah, I came in a bit of a whim. Didn't know really what I was doing. Is the sound quality okay? It's good. Yeah, and um, I didn't realize what I was doing until like maybe 2 hours from Hong Kong landing. And it's all about numbers, it's all about gematria, numbers and figures this because for those of you that have been following me for the last few weeks and few months, something has changed. Something's changed inside me. I have been getting huge upgrades, and I've kind of figured out what's going on now. Um, And what's going on is they're prepping me for something that I have to do, which is going to get absolutely massive. It's the same thing what I'm doing now, but there's some new platform that's going to come online in 2026 and 2027 and beyond. And I seem to have been earmarked for one of their world speakers for this. And I don't know who it is. This is what they just told me. They said, you're going to go massive. You're going to be talking to thousands and thousands of people as we get into 26 and beyond. So you need to get your game together. So what I had to do is clear a lot of things out of my closet. A spring cleaning, as they say. Um, because there's somebody up they have to team me up with somebody. I have no idea who this person is. They said, we're gonna send you a team of people, and your team are all on the same sort of wavelength, and you're gonna have to um bring your harmonic balance into a greater different frequency. You got to step up your game basically. So you've been a little bit slack, you've been a little bit lazy. I said, oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. So one of the reasons well, it is the reason I came to Hong Kong was to clear a karmic ancestral curse. Now, here's the thing about curses, right? The curse doesn't work unless you believe it works. They don't work on me. Spells, black magic, voodoo, all that other crap that people have tried to energetically block me with, and I've been feeling it a lot recently. And I know there'll be one of their little spies from a group across the Atlantic watching. It doesn't work on me. So whatever you send and try to put on me, we're going to return to sender. So do it. Do whatever you want to do. Do your worst and see what happens because I guarantee it's just going to go back on you. And you don't just get it the same, it amplifies by 5 times. So curses and voodoo and black magic and spells and witchcraft and brujeria, it doesn't work on me. I'm too well protected and it just doesn't work. You're wasting your precious time and breath and you're going to bring it back on yourself because when you're doing this shit, um, it just bounces back on you. So do what you want. I invite you to bring it on, see what happens. Because I've really enjoyed that show. Tell you what, I've really, really enjoyed seeing what's been going on with people who try to hurt me on an energetic level in the next realm. It's been fantastic. Better than any of the movies I've ever made. Mind you, they weren't great, really, were they? Why will the focus not focus? Come on. See, it should be sharp. I haven't got my other camera with me. Anyway, so um, yes, the cursed, they don't work. And actually, Nick Sylvester sent me a great message reminding me of that. He said, remember, Mahoney, they don't work unless you accept that they have the power over you. There's a way to block this because you can do an energetic block where nobody can get through your barriers. but you've got to believe in it, and you've got to be that powerful and strong and balanced to do it. So it doesn't work with me, and I've known that for years. Actually, 25 years ago, I was in a shop in Louisiana, messing around. It was a voodoo shop. I was in New Orleans, and I was messing about with some of the stuff in their chickens' feet and all this feathers and things, you'd buy for your own little weekend ceremony of voodoo magic, as you do. So the woman said to me, "Don't play games with things you don't understand there, sonny boy." And then I said back to her in that accent, I said, "Don't try to fool me and make me worry about stuff that don't work, have no power, girl. Do you think I believe in this shit? Don't work with me." And I was right. Doesn't work with me. So we'll move off that subject now, and we'll talk about why I came to Singapore. Unless you don't want me to talk about it, do you? You want to talk about that? Let's have a look. Q&As. Let's get some questions. Yeah, you curious? No, tell me. Tell me. I want to know. Right, I got to explain some things, okay? There's been an incident in my life, which I'm not going to talk about publicly, that has triggered all of this. And it is and it all rotates about numbers, and some of the numbers have been coming up. The numbers are 6 and 7 and 7 and 6. So 67 and 76. I've been seeing them everywhere. Why? I wish this camera would focus. Maybe if I do that, better light. No. So 76, guys, and 67. Now, when this incident transpired, I started getting 76 and 67. And I managed to figure out what the hell it was. And it actually goes back, although it starts on my side, there's two parts of this story. It starts on my side, but the other part of the curse goes to actually stretches into ancient Egypt. I can't say too much, but it goes into Egypt and some of the UK and Ireland as well. So it's an ancient curse that's been on my generational family for a long time, probably a couple of thousand years. Yeah. And 67 was the numbers that was going to get me on the track to understand what it is, so I could clear it and get rid of it. But 67, and again, I wish I could tell you, but you wouldn't believe me anyway, and it's just too private. Yeah, I won't exaggerate it, but this is what sent me on this first part of the journey to understand what the hell this is all about and to clear this, right? So 67. Okay. So my father was 76 when he died, which was 13 years ago. Yeah. So 76. Let's get it out. 76 minus 13 is 63. So I must have done it off different numbers, did I? Anyway, I've got them all written down because I'm going to do a proper recording about it. My father was sent to Hong Kong in the 1950s. I know he was 22 when he was here. So what I did was I took his date of birth and I started doing all the numbers on the flight because I realized, here's what sent me on that journey. I just got this message saying, you got to get to Hong Kong. I'm like, are you serious? What for? I don't want to go to Hong Kong. It's so far. Get yourself to Hong Kong. Something you got to do there. What am I doing? You'll know when you get there. This is very typical. They do say stuff like that. You'll know when you get there. So I started doing the numbers, and then I realized that I was arriving in Hong Kong on my father's birthday. And because it was the 19th of November, I went, this is about my dad. And when I was a kid, he used to say as a joke to me, you could have been half caste, David, because I really liked a lot of the women in Hong Kong. He could have been half Chinese, David. And he was also in Singapore in the British Army in the 50s. So I worked it out that it was 67 years ago, right now. So I arrived on my father's birthday. 67 years ago, he was here. He was 22. And then all of these other numbers then added up. There was another way I got it. I've forgotten now, but I have it written down. That hit me with 54, which is my age. So I was like, boom. I was like, oh, shit. And then I asked the question because you can't actually ask questions. You've got to ask them yes or no questions. I said, is this about my father, Massive confirmation, yes. Is this about what something my father did? Yes, confirmation. Because um, my father must have either left a really bad situation here in Hong Kong with a local girl. He never told me anything about maybe I had brothers or sisters out here, half brothers or sisters, but he did make a point of saying how much he loves being here and how much he loved the local women. He liked Singaporean girls. He liked that Malaysian, that skin, and he liked Chinese girls. So I was told that he left a situation here of a really severely broken-hearted girl that was I don't know if she was pregnant. I couldn't get that information, couldn't get confirmation on that. I haven't picked up the local Hong Kong phone book to see if there's any O'Mahoney's, any Mahoney's here. Um, there probably is, but I'm not going to go down that route. Um, and this is what I've noticed. This is what I've put together with myself. I'm 54. I've had an amazing life. I've had some amazing people in my life, relationships. Longest one I ever had was 14 years. And then I had another one for about 5 years and a few other bits and pieces across the way. But what I've noticed is my son. My son's 28. He's never had a, a long-term girlfriend. He's not gay and he's a very handsome guy and he's got the gift of the gab and he's great. Women love him, but he'll have a girlfriend for a week or a couple of months and that's it. And I said, that's a bit strange, isn't it? And he says, well, you know, it is what it is. And then I've been looking at my own life. Like, there's only two patterns of people in my life. When my journey with them is finished, they usually end up getting married because the time that we put in together, they have healed from me. And I didn't know all this at the time. This is all this information I got about healing and relationships is all relatively new to me. But they've either got married, kids, happy, irrelevant, you know, they're not like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is my perfect partner, but they have steady long-term relationships. Or the other ones, when I've walked away because they're just too nuts, they're unfixable, they don't want to learn from the lessons and they don't want to grow as people. So you say, look, you got to fix this. No, it's not me, it's you, you're the problem, Mahoney. All right, well, it's been great. I've really had a lot of fun. I'll always think about you, and you know, when I'm watching cage fighting. um, so there's only two types. So I figured out that there's a, because of what my father did here in Singapore, not Singapore, in Hong Kong, he gave himself, because here's the other key I haven't put in there. My father's relationship when he met my mother, by the time they're both dead now, so I can talk about this openly. By the time I was 8 or 9, they were already, that was it, it was over. And when my parents separated, I had a choice to go to live with my father or my mother, and I chose my father. And I spent between 8 and 16 with them. And throughout all of my adult years, I had a very close relationship with my dad. But what I've come to understand and learn from observations during these years of living with him is that my mother broke his heart. He never recovered. He settled with a woman which was a that'll do. And it was punchy. You ever heard that expression? You're punching above your weight when one person is either better looking or smarter, or than the other person. The couples don't match. It was like that for my dad, and none of us understood why he chose this woman. We never really got on with her. Um, so he never got over it. And this is karma. This was his curse. He's passed that down to me because it's an ancestral one, and unfortunately, I've passed it on to my son. So my job here, my mission, was to come and break that particular line of ancestral karmic curse. And so my son will be able to have a relationship and hopefully have kids, but not too soon. I don't want to be a granddad yet. Not too soon. And then it also opens and clears the way for me if somebody is, and I actually have a feeling there's somebody with all of this new stuff that's coming on. I was told I better start manifesting to send that right person that's going to be right by my side doing all this heavy hitting spiritual work as we travel around the world doing it. It is going to get massive because for some people, for some reason, people like my voice. Now that takes us to part two. That's part one. Clearing my father's mistakes and asking forgiveness and asking the ancestors to come in. And the ancestors of her side, whoever this woman was, he was 22. He didn't understand the gravity of what he's doing. And that poor people, that poor woman that never got over him. He experienced the same thing from when what my mother did to him in his relationship. So this is how it works. This is how karma works. Whatever you give to somebody, if you're lying, cheating, stealing, unfaithful, or and in business you're taking their money, whatever you do that's bad to somebody, you end up going into a situation where you feel the exact same emotions of what you caused that person, but they're amplified. So you understand it. So if you're in business, you rip somebody off, somebody's going to come along in your life, they're going to trick and fool you, and they're going to rip you off. And that's the way it works. So, and it's the same in relationships. I've been pretty loyal in all my relationships. The only time I remember, here's a great story. I'm not a cheater. It's not my style. I either commit or I don't commit. And then, there's a few weeks, a few months where you're thinking, okay, look, this isn't working out. And those are the sort of the times when things potentially could go wrong. But I never have anybody in the shadows. I don't have dating sites. Um, Most of the people that have walked into my life have been organic. They've been people I've bumped into rather than online dating sites. I think they're great. I think they're great. I wish I could use them, but I'm just too vulnerable, and it would just expose me too much. Imagine all the energies I'd be getting from there. Oh my God. When I meet somebody, I can read them straight away and say, okay, this is good. But people mask who they are. They're always wearing a mask. Yes, I'm normal. So where was I going with this? Good story. Yeah. At the end of I was with the mother of my son. I was with her for 14 years. And at the end of it, we just ended up living like brother and sister. And I came to her one day. I said, look, she's a bit older than me. I think 3, 4 years older than me. I said, if we don't do this, if I don't cut this loose now, cut you loose, you're not going to find a guy as you get into your autumn years that's going to love you and be with you and you're going to have a great time. It's different for men, although it's socially weird. I mean, I would never do it, but 55-year-old guy can go out and get a 25-year-old girlfriend, but that would be the suicide for me. She'd just drive me mad. I would never do that. I've no interest in young girls. So that's not me planting the seeds and trying to tell you what. No, not me. You got to be 40 minimum for me, someone I can talk to. So anyway, I was right. She met a guy straight after that and she's still with him. And that's 20 something years later. And then the next week I was in LA. It was the time when I was doing a lot of the casting calls for the Pirates of the Caribbean and all that stuff. And I walked into a bar in LA and a girl turned around, and this is such an amazing experience, actually. I'm so grateful and thankful. Girl turned around and looked at me in the eyes, and honestly, bang, love at first sight. And I ended up in a really crazy, difficult relationship with her for 5 years, only because of the distance. Me living in between Chicago, London, couldn't stay in the States with a visa, back out to LA, and we had 5 great years together. A lot of painful separation and eventually torn apart. But this is the thing, that experience of love at first sight, how many people can actually say they've experienced love at first sight? I don't know many. And many people probably convince you, oh yeah, it was. No, no, man. I mean, I remember a moment being with that girl and lying there in LA at about 3 in the morning. That I wanted to climb inside her body. I wanted to hug her so much, just get so close to that energy in the soul. And at the end of it, she said to me, David, I'll pray that I'll meet somebody that I can have the same experiences that we had together. But ultimately, I don't believe it's possible. I think what we shared is something so unique and so special. I'm so privileged. And I doubt I'm ever going to experience that again. And she didn't. She ended up going back to her high school sweetheart, who's a nice guy, hardworking construction guy, and marrying a high school sweetheart after he'd been in another relationship for 20 odd years. But they're happy. They have, a kid together and it's great. So I'm really happy for her. But if you've got this blockage from things you've been doing in your life that you are now experiencing yourself, remember, this is this whole long-ass-winded waffling. What's the time now? 20 minutes. That's not bad. This is this whole karmic lesson here as well, guys, that no matter what you do, if you do something wrong to somebody, karma has no time clock either. It could come back in a week, a month, a year, 10 years. It'll follow you. And just when you're in that position where you think, oh my God, this is so nice. Oh, I've got an amazing job. It'll come back round and it'll start saying, are you ready? Open wide, because here comes a great big fucking spoon of karma for you. Yeah. And it'll put it straight down your throat. So I've learned now, I've actually got a very clean karmic soul because I've been aware of this. It's difficult for me to do difficult, hard, horrible things to people. I don't have it in me. I'm generous, I'm kind, and people that will know me say, you know what, I'm often helping some guy in the street. I'll stop and say, what do you need? I am very kind and very thoughtful. I mean, I'm sure some of my exes will bring up some things and say, you know what, there is one thing about me, I'll tell you straight, is I don't put up with any shit. You know, if there's any crossing the boundaries that are in a normal relationship, oh no, I do not put up with that. Get your stuff and go. I will not put up with crap. I'll be understanding and I'll listen and try to resolve it with you. But if you're not going to do the work, I will not put up with that. And it's the same with all my friendships and businesses and everything. I do not suffer fools. I don't put up with drug users or any sort of form of toxic behavior. It's snapped in the bud very quickly. This is something I've learned. And it's served me very, very well. You know, people, my nephew's like, who are you? Who are you? You've changed. What's going on? And a lot of people, these videos I'm making, a lot of people are confused by saying, is someone paying you to make these? What's this called? Totally different content, Mahoney. I said, I know, I'm not being paid to make them, but you know. So my spiritual powers are growing. I'm feeling great. I want to get out of Hong Kong now. Unfortunately, my flight's not till a couple more days. I might try to change it tomorrow because I want to get back to Spain. I love driving through the Andalusian hills in the mountains, having a glass of wine, a really good steak. Tonight I went to, my friend said, go to the Grand Hyatt in Hong Kong. They got a really good restaurant. It cost me $250 for a steak and 3 glasses of wine. I had a steak, mashed potatoes, and 3 glasses of wine. I worked it out afterwards. I was like, holy, I was texting him saying, are you insane? Who would pay that shit, man? What's going on? What? Because I just cannot find any food here that I like. I've got some videos I'll show you, actually. Let's bring up some of the things I've been wandering around Hong Kong. Who did I send them to now? Yes. Yes. Let's bring them up. That's to you. Yeah. Do you want to see some stuff? You want to see some things I've been doing in Hong Kong? And if you got questions, guys, please, I'm not going to show you any geopolitical stuff tonight. I've not prepared any of that because it's 3 in the morning, so you can kiss my ass if you think I'm going to sit up all night to do that. I'm not. But I'll show you some stuff I've been doing around here. I'm going to edit in the nice series. I'll probably do that in the flight going back. So, yeah, sure. Let's see what I've been doing. And you wonder why I spend so much time. And you wonder why I spend so much time and effort putting these products together. You've got unsanitary conditions like that. Totally normal in Southeast Asia. So guys, I'll keep going, yeah? Let's just load it up.
So this is the typical situation. Me on the street with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. This is a breeding ground for parasites.
That's all pork. just standing on the street like that. It's not refrigerated and people are touching it. The people picking it up.
What a peaceful place this is, this Buddhist temple in Hong Kong. As I look around, I see all these people, all these nationalities. I've heard Russian, I've heard German, I've heard French.
Oh, wait a second.
And all these people here, one thing they're doing is they're all eating the local food. And I know that they're going to go back with a surprise. For sure, they're going to be taking with them an unwanted souvenir of parasites infection from Southeast Asia. But don't worry, we have something for that. If you click the link below, you'll get all the information about how good Paragon is and all of the different parasites.
What I do is I turn these into adverts. What else have I got? I'll tell you what I have. I'll tell you what I've got. Do you want to see the new Words of Wisdom video? I did a cracking one yesterday. Boom, got it. I was in this cable car, crystals, all glass, so the floor is totally transparent. You go right up the mountain. And I went up there with two really nice couples from Michigan, and they both had Asian boyfriends. So I had to sit for 20, 30 minutes with these. Oh, I'm feeling a bit dizzy. Oh, I've got vertigo. I shouldn't make fun of them really, but one of the guys, there were two American guys from Michigan. One of them was obviously like, oh, and we had to put this wristband on. And I said, I don't like these. They always stick on my hairs. Like you go to a festival, then you put a band on, but it always grabs on my wrist hairs. I'm like, oh, God damn it. But he said, excuse me, he says, this reminds me when I was in Ibiza. I said, oh, you've been to Ibiza, have you? Oh, yeah, every summer we go. Gets way out of control. So anyway, let me bring that up. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I must find the video. I haven't put this up yet, but I've prepared it. Is it here? Yes. So I'll share this with you. How do I do that now? What else? Give me some questions, guys. If you've got some questions, you want to talk to me about anything. Could you offer the hydroxychloroquine in larger quantities, 50 or 100 times? Yeah, you know what? Send me an email about that, because I think I've got something that's about to expire in a couple of months. I'll just give it, I'll throw some of that in, because it doesn't expire. They just have to put a stamp on it. We normally give it away to Africa. We got this Nigerian hospital that they take it, but I'll send you some of that. Is this wobbling or is it just me? Right, what are we doing? Share that one. 18? Yeah. I hope it's the right one. Let me move that back a bit because it's a bit unsteady. Right, so let me prep you on this. I'm coming back down in the cable car. I'm having a quiet moment because I managed to get in the same cable car by myself, and it came to me what we're going to talk about next. I haven't put this out yet, guys, but you're very welcome to enjoy it, and I'll go quiet for 6 minutes, okay?
Hey everybody, so from a cable car high above Hong Kong.
Look at that.
I apologize for the acoustics. But we're going to continue in this series of short videos I do about words of wisdom. Now today, this one might be a little bit heavy, might be a little bit deep. So I'll pre-warn you. Let's see how you get on with the first gates of questions that I'm going to get you to feel into, okay? The first question is, are you actually ready to move on to the next stage of your evolution, your awakening, your harmonic upgrade? Because you're going to have to leave the old version of you behind. And this new version will morph out of the old one. But who you are today is not going to be who you are going to be after you've been through a lot of the work, once you've been through the gates. So are you ready to leave the old version of you behind and embrace the new one? If you're thinking not really, then maybe you should scroll away now. But if you're thinking yes, then stay with me. Because the next part of this exercise is a test. And what we have to do is we have to send you back to a traumatic childhood incident where you were scared, where you got lost in a large shopping mall, whether you saw your parents fighting and that scared you with the shouting. Put yourself into an incident in your childhood when you were about 6, 7, 8, around there, where you were terrified. You had fear. You genuinely were shaking with fear. Now I know that none of us want to go back to these moments as a child when you have that sort of terror and that fear. But just for the sake of this exercise, do it, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Take a moment. Just remember, I know it's painful. I know it's hard. But you have to trust me. I'll hold your hand while we do it. Go back to that childhood memory, the vulnerable, young child that you were, in a moment of terror and fear, when nobody was there to save you. Just hold that energy right now and say, I know it's tough. I know, I've done this. For me, the first time was horrible. Now, if you could, who you are today, go back to the moment that we've just been feeling into, and you could stretch your arms out and pick up yourself as a terrified, scared child and put you into your own arms to comfort, to wipe the tears away, to take the fear away, to comfort yourself. Would you, as a child, want who you are today to be your savior? Feel into that, think about it. At that moment of pure terror, would you be comfortable reaching out your little tiny arms to embrace yourself, who the person you are right now? If the answer is no, then you need to do some more work. You still have to clear some more trauma and some more history, some more soul searching. But if the answer is yes, then you've done it. Hard exercise, that, I know, but it's very powerful. Would you want to be your own savior? We all have a different stage of journey to go on as we embrace and walk into this new light that we've been all seeking our entire human lives. But are you the person that you really want to be right now? Keep on searching, keep on looking. Okay? I'll see you soon, and I hope that the love and respect I have for all of you guys, with the determination of what you're doing on this journey, is coming through this camera from different parts of the world. Because I admire you, I'm proud of you, and I'm sending you love always, and I'm always there helping in the background. Just click the subscription link and you'll get more continuous helpful videos about this. I'll see you very soon.
Oh, what do you think of that? Do you understand it? I think that's quite easy to understand. Would you want to be your own savior? Because a lot of people are not fit to be the savior of that child because they can't save them. They're still screwed up themselves. You can't save a child if you're mentally screwed up. You got to answer honestly. You know, you can't just say yes. And then it's easy for some people because they're actually still parents. You know, they're still raising children. But then if you're in your 50s and 60s, you've done that. Would you be able to do it again? Would you be the savior? Pretty deep, that, isn't it? That's what Spirit sends me, stuff like this. He says, explain this one. How am I going to explain that one? And, you know, I've got about 20 minutes in that cabin, but I tell you what, it flows out of me. It flows out of me. And what a powerful thing that was. You know, I was aware of that. I've heard it before. But it's not something that's here. It's way inside in the back with all the junk and the bicycles and the motorcycles and the bar fights and the whiskeys and everything over the years, all those memories. So trying to articulate these deep emotions to help people on the journey is really challenging, but I tell you, it's amazing because he just says, do this one today. And he actually sent me 3 possibilities yesterday. So I've got another 2 back. I haven't filmed them yet, but they're in here. I'm ready, you know. So yeah, that's that. Any no questions, guys? Come on, hit me with some questions. I'll tell you the other thing. I can't eat this. I can't eat Chinese food here. But did I finish talking about that? There's restaurants everywhere, but I went into one yesterday. It's a Michelin awarded Michelin star, Michelin guide. 2025, 2024, 2023, best whatever. I thought, well, I can't go wrong with that, can I? So I go in there and they put you in this tiny little booth with a piece of plastic, and there's some person the other side of this plastic. And the other restaurant I went into, we were sitting same table of four, woman there, and I'm here, and she's like slurping. I was like, oh, you know, I'm like 5 seconds away from just throwing this whole table up and losing it. I'm gonna lose it. I'm being triggered. Slurpers. Uh, and I just don't like the food. You know, even at home, I'm not a huge fan of Chinese food. It's just, I don't really like rice. And I just think it's just all this sauces on there. So anyway, $240 on a meal tonight. So I'll strangle my friend when I get back. He was laughing. He says, "Oh, price got prices since I was in there." I said, "Did you? There's no way you would have paid that. Somebody invited you to go in there." I know him. He's a cheap bastard. So there's the budget gone out the window for a month. And I mean, it was a good meal, but it wasn't wow. It wasn't like, oh my God, that's I'm going to write home about. Like if you're on death row, and that's the restaurant you get to cook your last meal. It was a great steak, Australian beef, which is when I was in Thailand, I remembered it was good quality beef. And I had 3 glasses of Pinot Noir, which I like. It's a good French wine. So I didn't even look how much it was. I was like, wow. Okay. And I was looking around. There's a lot of people in there. Um, I like Thai food, but only once a month or something, you know. Again, it's not my thing. What's this? What's this? Mahoney, have you heard anything about the organized squatter gangs in Spain? A culpa. Yeah, you know what? I'll explain it. The Spanish have this, whenever they say the word ocupa, which means squatter, they go, Ay, Dios mío. They're like some sort of satanic group. Like, your culpas are here. Like they're a biker gang. But you have these independent people now that can get rid of them. They're basically organized lefties because the president of Spain now is changing all of the rental agreement contracts for people like Airbnb in Barcelona. All the tourists now are getting squirted with squirt guns, water pistols, we'd say in English, when they're going because it's just too busy. When you go to these famous European cities like Barcelona, Venice, Rome, it's just so full of tourists. Japanese and Chinese and Americans and not so much Europeans because we've all kind of been there really. I mean, I wouldn't go to Paris if you'd have to really force me to go to Paris. Rome, I was in Rome recently, but I just changed in the airport, didn't go downtown. So, but Venice, I haven't been to Venice in 20 years. Um, been there 3 times, I think, back in the day. Took that American girl I was talking to you about. We checked into a hotel. It was yeah, it was a hotel. I was haunted. She was freaking out. Things moving around the bedroom, sheets being pulled off. It was weird where to only stayed one night there and we moved. But yeah, definitely haunted. She was quite psychic, actually, thinking about it now. Um, so yeah, they are gangs of these people that are moving into these houses that are not occupied all year because the rental properties for the high season. So now's the low season, all these properties are going to be empty. So they get in, change the locks, and because of the socialistic laws, there's nothing they can do. They'll fake a contract, or they'll go in on an Airbnb contract and just stay in there, you know. But you can hire these ex-military guys that go in. I've seen them wandering around. So it's all about how much, because the law is one thing, and actually following it is another. So the law says you can't do anything. You can only get them out if you use the proper legal system, which will take 4.5, 5 years. So if you just send around a couple of, you know, knuckle dragging drongos that have just got out of the army and give them $500, yeah, they'll get results, but it is totally legal. But what are they going to do? Are the squatters going to prosecute you? Are they going to sort of say, oh, well, you know, it was forced out of it wasn't your house in the first place. So it's catch 22. If it happened to me, it was one of a property that I had, they wouldn't be in there very long, you know. So I wouldn't worry about it. What we're going to talk about next. Okay. It's been a while since I've just done this, just chatting, isn't it? Without the videos and everything. But I'm chatty now. I've got a lot going on. I'm heading back to Europe now in a couple of days. I hope maybe I'll try and get out of here tomorrow. And then in the middle of December, I have a really, well, actually, this came up before. I didn't realize how important this is. I'm actually, uh, what am I going to do first? Right. I've got a really important trip coming up in the middle of December, and I'm going to one of my bucket list places. And the reason I'm doing it is because I'm going to go somewhere nice and remote and see if I'm going to get anything from this AI Atlas shit coming in. Could be a load of bollocks, but it'd be cool if it's not, isn't it? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring you along. I'm going to do some live shows with Nicholas Van Yarman. We've already been talking about it and planning it. Live from which is where I'm going. I'm going with my son because we normally do an annual trip, and my son is he's beginning to really get into it. He's beginning to tune in. Um, and he gives me good messages. He passes, "Oh, Dad, I'm going to be here on this day." And I was like, "Are you joking?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." Because it's no fun traveling by yourself, to be honest, folks. Most of these journeys now, I've been in Hong Kong, what, 3, 4 days? 3 nights is my third night now, and it's no fun. You get out, you go to the tourist sites, you're standing in line with all the tourists, you see the families, the friends, the couples, they're all messing about. It's not much fun by yourself. And this is why I like to get in and out quickly because, people say, "Oh, go out and enjoy yourself." Like it's Friday night now, although it's 3:30 in the morning, 3:45. I could have gone out earlier to all the bar districts and but that's not me. It's not me. I'm a super sociable person. I can stand anywhere and strike a conversation up, and meet people, meet a bunch of guys that are going out, tag with them, drink with them, but it's just that energy doesn't appeal to me anymore. I'm balanced, I'm calm, and I like being in an environment which is balanced and calm. I've noticed it's difficult. It's more challenging for me to tune in when I'm in an environment which is busy, lots of people, concrete stuff, airplanes. I get little bursts of energetic spirit messages, and they're nothing for hours. Whereas most of the time, it's kind of always bubbling. It's a slow stew coming on, and I can tune in. Sometimes he comes in the car with me, I'll get in the car and I'll have a song that comes on and it's just like, wow, come on. And I'll say, "Come on, spirit, come on, let's get into it, get into the music, hammering it through Andalusia." He likes it actually. He what was I going to say about Hong Kong now? I was going to talk about something that happened here. Oh, the what I've done here in Hong Kong has been massively important because I've been told that what I'm doing is blueprint work. They've told me that I've somehow, this is typical me as well, I've raccooned away where nobody's been able to get through these gates and clear this sort of energy before, but I've managed to find a way through it. And they're shocked. They said, "You have now made a blueprint, and what you have to do is talk about it with people so they can do the same thing," because there hasn't been a successful way of really doing that before. But there isn't really like instructions. All I can do is just tell you how to tune in and what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to concentrate on. But they said you've blueprinted it, and this is why I'm going to be rewarded so much. Although I don't exactly know what that is. They've told me I'm going to be my. This is what they've said. My voice is going to be heard by millions of people, and we're going to send you a female counterpart who you're going to be working with and traveling with. So you don't know who she is yet, and I wish I did because I'm fast tracking. I say, "Hey, have you got this message? Yeah, you got it too. What are you doing? Come on." So this is coming in the new year into January 26th and beyond. This is where we're going with this little journey mission, which is it's all falling into place quite interesting because I think 8 different businesses and half of them I don't like. I've got real estate investments. But I bought some land and we're doing the licenses. I had no passion for them, none whatsoever. So I've got a project manager, and I just said, look, you know what, you get on with it. You do it, do what you need to do, but don't ring me unless it's like really urgent. I want to go to board meetings, and I don't want to be informed about, what the architects say. Just ring me if it's bad news, and I need to step in and see how I can fix it. And that's great. And I'll probably sell that because I now want to focus on this. I'll carry on with the supplements because I think they're great. They work really well. Holy cow, am I feeling good? I've got to take some now. But I just don't want to be bothered by 3D crap. Oh, welcome to the third board meeting of we're gonna put a vote on if we should get if we could buy a lot of black pens or should we buy blue pens for the officers. Luckily, I don't have any of that crap because honestly, I would last 10 seconds in the corporate world. I would just tell them all where to go and what I think. So I am freeing up space to be able to do this, to take on this challenge that they've said I have to do. So I'm going to do it. That's it. I'm excited for it because if I think about where my journey came from in the early days in COVID and me, I was angry a lot during those days. I was fighting with everybody, arguing. I'm not doing that. No, I ain't I'm not putting a mask on. We're not obliged. No, 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 no. You call them. Go on and call the police. See if I care. I'll educate them. So, um, I'm looking forward to it. But people that give predictions, this is a good thing to talk about. False prophets. How many people have you been watching on the internet over the years who are so full of shit? Oh, this is going to happen. And now, people say that to me all that. Now, I didn't tie this in deliberately, but people always say that to me about Charlie. And I actually don't think he's full of shit. I actually think if there was any criticism of Charlie, I would say you kind of repeat yourself, Charlie. The same message. It's pantomime. It's pantomime. But ultimately, he's done a good job. He's woken people up. He's gone out there and he's touched thousands, millions of people. Charlie's touched, and he does a good job. But I'm talking about the people that, like false, what do you call them? Evangelistic preachers, church. Hallelujah. Jesus says you're going to send us some money, going to buy me a Bentley. These sort of people. These people that monetize religion or people's desperation, I was watching a podcast the other day, and he said on that, he says, what's a really good business model now is an OnlyFans girl goes and does OnlyFans for a few years. So for those that don't know what it is, and I don't know, I've never opened them, not my thing either, watching some demonically possessed skank dancing around half naked. Yeah, I'm really going to watch that, aren't I? That's really soul enlightening. Anyway, these girls that sell their bodies and do things on cameras and get donations from people, then what they do is they quit that and then they find God. They get saved, born again Christians are. They find God. And then they go into a church and they become one of the spokespersons for the church. And I was a sinner. I was sinning I asked Jesus, hallelujah. And then it's a business model, and then they just start saying, send us $25 donation our church. It's a business plan model. False prophets, these people like this, these people I cannot stand. And there's that many gurus out there that are teaching and trying to get people to do the right thing. And Huna was one of them. And I'll tell you why. And maybe that sounded a bit harsh, but Huna, at the end of it, one of the reasons I didn't go on these tours anymore was I just thought, Huna, your system of educating and bringing people up through the spiritual work you're jumping them too fast. So you're giving them a dragon ride, and then they're going to go on and clear this karmic or clear this pain and their trauma in the relationship with the father, the mother, brother, whatever. And I said, then you're just leaving them, and they're not healed properly. You've made them a Huna, and they think, oh, this is a magic pill that I've eaten. So I said to him, your system, you can't make them a Huna until they've gone through the gateways. And he was more or less implementing that when he died. But he's another one, I've been to some of those events with Huna's people there, and there's some crazy women there. Crazy. And I don't care if you're watching, you're crazy. You know, you are. You are. You think that you're healed, you're not. You're not even putting a band-aid on it, you're just rubbing it, that wound. And then they take this weekend spiritual course on, they might take some ayahuasca, these people, and all of a sudden they think they're healed. There's that many people that are giving bad advice out there, which is something I've often thought about. This is one of the other reasons I think I'm going to get involved in this whole market now, because I'm brutally honest. You know, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. I'm brutally honest. And a lot of these people, their egos, oh my God, their egos. It's like, I was touched and, by God himself. Somebody said to me once, I'm doing God's work, David. I said, how do you know? Has he told you that, or have you told yourself that? They didn't answer me. How do you know? Has he told you? How do you know it's God? Could be a demon talking to you. Because this is the other thing as well, I have actually seen this in a lot of people, a demonic possession, where they lose it, start screaming. I'm like, oh, there he is. And because a lot of the time a dark energy can transfer through people. I found this out recently because they can go to other people because they could be coming at you all the time. He's trying to get me a lot of times, the devil, but you can't get me. What are you going to tempt me with? You can't tempt me with a bribe. I'm successful in business. You can't tempt me with that. You need to tempt me with a woman? For what? A night of pleasure? Alcohol? No. Drugs? No. I don't really think I have a temptation. I mean, maybe a really screaming good laugh and an adventure. Like, okay, Mahoney, we've got a P-51 Mustang. We want you to fly from Arizona and down into Mexico into a canyon for a film. I'd be like, oh, that's tempting. But you couldn't tempt me with lust or passion or sloth or greed. Adventure, you could probably tempt me with. But I would know. I would know if it was something dark. I can spot it a mile away. I can spot a fake from a mile away. You know that song? It's a new song. It's been playing a lot. It's on my playlist for some reason on my headphones. It comes on. So fake, so California. It's true. I can spot a fake a mile away. A fake person, a fake evangelistic, a fake guru, a fake spiritual warrior, a fake, fake, fake. I can spot them a mile away. So they don't actually even come up to me anymore. What's the time? That's about it, guys. I think I'm going to just end up waffling for the next few minutes. So I'm going to go downstairs to the coffee room, get some water, take my supplements, and get a few nights sleep, a few hours sleep before the dawn breaks. And yeah, I'm going to see actually maybe I can change my flight and fly out earlier because I'm just sitting here doing nothing now. There's one other place I want to go tomorrow, which I'll film. But apart from that, what am I going to do in Hong Kong? You know, I'll go to the mall tomorrow. I'll make good clothes shopping tomorrow. Get some, apparently, but that's about it. If you have questions, please email them. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channels, Talking with Mahoney. There's going to be a lot more content coming out. There's going to be a lot more travel, and I highly suggest that you take some of the things I've been talking about to heart. If you need to do some of your own work yourself, go somewhere in nature, nice and quiet, and have a little look internally about who you really are. What sort of person are you? Are you happy with yourself? Would you be your own savior? It's great. It's a great exercise, that, isn't it? You know what I would be? Absolutely. That kid right now, if I was to go back and save myself, because I grew up now, some of the years with my dad was horrible. It was in the 80s, depression, Margaret Thatcher, massive strikes everywhere, nobody had a job. I would be a most amazing savior because what I know and my strength and position now, I would be a great savior. Teach him. Would I teach myself? No, you still have to go through all these gateways and pains and trials and tribulations yourself. You can't fast track any of this. You can't fast track it. So, guys, maybe you should do that. It's the weekend now. Have a little internal process and see what sort of person you are. And do you need work? We all constantly need work. You cannot even say we don't. We all need to be constantly moving forward, but it's about what you learn. I tell you what, Hong Kong has been great for people observing because they all just seem to be really depressed, the Chinese, there's a restaurant on every, like, if you want to take one block, there's 3 of the shops are restaurants, like either selling chopped up animals that you're not sure what they are. I think most of them are duck, but it could be wrong. And they just look, they don't smile. They're not very happy people. They're just working, working, working really fast. So I've noticed that they're not very happy, and I've seen some horrible teeth here. Like, what have you been eating and get teeth like that? It's like they brushed them with raw tobacco juice and not white at all like grey and weird. And oof, I don't know, the worst breath. Like a guy just walks past, he's like, ugh, fuck. It's like not getting inside the teeth and cleaning it, flossing it. That sort of smell. You ever do that? And you in a restaurant, toothpick, and you accidentally you're talking like that, and you get, oof, how long's that been? Or in a dental cleaning clinic, you get that smell, don't you? It's food lodged in your teeth. A lot of Westerners here all going to the tourist spots. I had a chat with an Australian guy today in breakfast. Oh yeah, we're just in Bangkok, and then we just pop down here to Hong Kong, have a little look around as well, You know. But my heart, my soul is in. No, not. But they're probably watching now thinking he's not doing that, is he? No, music and a few little voiceover parts for me just to give it that little bit of the je ne sais quoi necessary for all of my productions. I'm really funny about. Do you want me to tell you a secret? I'll tell you a secret. All the videos I make, especially the historic ones and these new series of the Words of Wisdom, I spend a long time on the music. And when I add the music, if that video does not bring a tear to my eye, and there's me, I'm watching me. I'm watching me. If it doesn't evoke an emotion that makes me cry, I'll scrap it and I'll do it again. Every single one of my videos makes me cry. And it's how I test it. It's the test. It's how I do it. And I put them all together on my phone like that. All these videos, all in the phone, edited, cut, thrown up on the internet straight away. All me. Because I'm amazing. I'm so amazing. Yeah. Hey, listen, guys, I'm not a guru. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a guy that's been chosen to pass on messages. I'm a messenger. I'm a messenger. Somebody used to tell me that all the time. You are a great messenger. Forgot about that. I am a messenger, so please do not get me mixed up with a prophet or a guru or just a messenger. That's it. And I'll see you on Tuesday. We'll be back. In the meantime, I'll keep you posted if there's anything else interesting. I'll be posting that new video probably on Sunday. I'll give it a couple of days. And yeah, make sure you subscribe and like and get the videos out there and actually forward them to people that you think they might need some help with bits and pieces. Get them out into the ether. Send them with light and love. Okie dokie, amigos. Well, with that, I'll say good night. I don't look too bad for 4 in the morning, do I? 3:59. That's because I'm full of spirit and energy. I've been sleeping an hour here and an hour there since I got here. All right, guys, no more waffling, no more rambling. Stay true to yourself. Do some inner work. Have a look at where you need to improve yourself. And always be moving forward. There's no point in looking behind you. You know what's behind you. Keep looking forward and moving forward. Keep improving yourself. And for those of you lucky enough to be in a relationship, make sure your partner is loved and appreciated every day. It's very important that. Just say, hey, I haven't told you today, but I do love you and I do appreciate you. It's been a while since I've said it, but I don't want you to ever think I don't. And if it's not true, then don't say it. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it. Always be truthful. That's another thing, very important. Don't just lie for the sake of not hurting someone's feelings. Put some sugar on it at least. Don't just say, I hate you. Yeah, you've got a weird hairstyle. You should be honest with people, but don't hurt people's feelings if you can avoid it. Do the right thing. Be a good person. Take the honorable route. There you go. That's the easiest way to do. They just sent me that. Take the honorable route. Act with honor and respect. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Adios from Hong Kong, guys. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining me.